Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonfireTools.com, coming to you from the Campbell's Custom Care Studio.
Well, perhaps you're smelling some oil burning and you suspect a leak. You put some cardboard under there and bam, you got a wet spot. Yep, you got an oil leak. Welcome to this Amsoil Tech Tip. We're talking about high mileage oil and also what can we do to prevent these leaks. First of all, let's find a leak. How do you do it? We'll get you some of the Amsoil brake clean. Clean all the residual oil off of there, spray it down, get you some foot powder, spray it on there and check for the wet spot. You may be able to track it down. If you can't there, well, you get some oil dye. Put it in the oil, and I have a black light here and I can shine it on here. And when I put the black light on here, it actually emphasizes the oil. So if you have a little drop, it's really going to show up and you're going to be able to find it. But what causes all that? Well, there's a term called blow-by. You can see it right here. Every time it fires, you're going to get a little combustion and gases down in there, mixing with the oil and causing pressure. Not a good thing. The oil has to be designed for that as well, right, Len?
Well, it does. And you get these vehicles that have a little bit more time on them, a little more mileage on them. Things like varnish, sludge, different things can build up in there. So you want to get an oil in that vehicle that's going to be designed to help go in there and clean that stuff out. That's our high mileage motor oil.
Now another thing is the vehicle seals. You could have cork, rubber, neoprene, they're all different designs. We can actually help with Amsoil. You can help prevent oil leaks with a high mileage vehicle, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And those things that you talked about are generally the culprit when you've got an oil leak happening. And so what we do here is we formulate with a decent amount of seal conditioner, seal swell additive. And what that does is it goes in and it helps to kind of rejuvenate some of those older, dried out, cracked seals.
And the proof's in the pudding. This is Dave's Xterra back here. He's been using Amsoil in there from the get-go. He now uses the high mileage oil. And you can too. Just go to amsoil.com.
I know lots of you have RVs. Maybe you love off-roading. Well, of course, you get into trouble out there, or just a simple matter of hitching up your trailer, you're going to want to use a bottle jack. There's no way to bring your whole floor jack out with you. But there's some pitfalls, Richard, that come with using a bottle jack when you're off-road or at your campsite.
Not everything is going to be flat on a vehicle when you want to use it. So especially if you're trying to jack up from an axle, you know, it's a tubular thing, it's going to roll off.
Yeah, and this is all you get when you get a bottle jack.
Exactly.
They're great jacks. But this is it. So in ideal conditions on something flat, you can jack something up easily. You're on the trail, the side of the road, your campsite, and you've got a metal axle on top of this. It's going to slide right off.
Exactly.
So you guys at Bottle Jack Buddy came up with a solution.
We did.
Yeah, what's it look like? How does it work?
Okay, so this is our regular size. This is our larger size. And what this does is this cradles the axle. So if you have a solid axle on here, it's not going to roll off the jack.
It's as simple as that. And there's the large is for the larger axle, but it also accommodates the larger saddle here on the bottom.
Yeah, depending on your bottle jack.
Gotcha. So let's look and take a look at how it'll we can apply it here with this. And you know, two different sizes here. The axles, it fits perfectly. It'll keep it from sliding off here. How do I know this thing's going to last under the weight of my trailer or my vehicle?
Well, we've tested it up to 17,000 pounds.
That'll do.
100% U.S. steel, manufactured in the U.S. 100%.
Now, how do I know what size axle I have and which bottle jack buddy I'm going to need?
You can get information from the manufacturer. You could also look online, but there's a lot of different applications. A lot of vehicles build different axles depending on towing capacity. And as far as the jack, a lot of bottle jacks build 2 or 3 different sizes. So always measure your axle. Always measure your bottle jack.
This is great for off-roaders, as we mentioned, and you showed it off first in Overland West last year. How was it received there?
So Expedition Portal did an article on it, and it was the top, most innovative product at Overland Expo West.
Kind of speaks for itself, too, and I understand you've been in some magazines as well?
Yep, Men's Journal being one of them as well.
Excellent, and there's a lot of imitators out there. How do we know that we're finding the real Bottle Jack Buddy?
So the best thing to do is look for the term Bottle Jack Buddy on the adapter, but also we have several retailers on our website, bottlejackbuddy.net.
We have the regular and the large. You know, what are the specs on those? What are the sizes?
So the regular will cradle up to a 3-inch axle, and the large will cradle up to a 4-inch axle.
And these are going to work for anybody if they're off-roading, if they're towing a trailer, and now even for a low-profile bottle jack like that, folks with a classic car or something like that.
Exactly. If you got an older race car or something like that, you can't fit one of these under the axle, you can buy jacks like these.
It's a perfect solution for jacking up your vehicle, maybe getting it out of trouble if you're off-road. It's the Bottle Jack Buddy. You can find it at bottlejackbuddy.net. How about our paintedautoparts.com Motorheads of the Week? This time coming to you from the Netherlands. 2 guys named Tom and Heish say that they've been hooked on classic American cars since they were just 5 years old. And they told me that American car culture is really big in the Netherlands. but that wasn't good enough to satisfy their appetite for American metal. In 2018, they made their first visit to the United States, and when they got to California, they were in classic car heaven. Tom and Heisch founded Classic Cars Gallery, and if you look them up on the socials, you'll find great photos and videos of some gorgeous classic American cars and trucks. Man, those things are beautiful. They say that while the car scene is good back home, they say that their fellow Dutchmen and Dutchwomen need to come on over to the United States and check it out, and we think that's a pretty good idea. To Tom and Heisch, we say bedankt. Thank you for putting your names in the hat to become the PaintedAutoParts.com Motorheads of the Week. Folks around the world are doing it, so why don't you? Just send us a note at motorheadgarage.tv and tell us why you or someone you know should be our Motorhead of the Week. Still lots more to come here on Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonfireTools.com, so come on back, or to our friends in the Netherlands, kom alsjeblieft terug.